Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and today I'm going to talk about the Imperial Fists. And now, it's not any sort of surprise to anyone who's followed my channel for any amount of time. I have a particular disdain for the Imperial Fists. I really do. Like, out of all the chapters and legions, those are the ones I can completely despise. How I prefer Erebus and the Word Bearers to the Imperial Fists. It's like two Imperial Fists I actually like, and that's Imperial Fists, not successor chapters. I will talk about them later. But yeah, that's Sigismund and Pollux. Fafnir are right, but yeah, Sigismund and Pollux are both based. So, now, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, like, what's their biggest issue? What's the one thing that I really do not like about them? And that is they seem to have armor made of paper mache. Like, their armor is so weak. You look at them funny, they fall apart. They die so much. The Deathcore of Krieg go, yeah, that's a bit over the top. Tone it down a little. So it's just weird that you have this Imperial Fist faction, this Space Marine faction, absolute badass, superhuman Astartes, and they always seem to die. Like, they die a lot. I'm not even joking. In the War of the Beasts, they literally got killed to one man, which is, Corland. He became a High Lord of Terror. And that's it. This also kind of passes down to their successor chapters as well. The Crimson Fist obviously blew themselves up. The Black Templars took massive losses at Hell's Reach. And the Soul Drinkers died completely. Now, I know there's a theory the Soul Drinkers aren't Imperial Fists. And there's not many books about the Minotaurs. But however, and they do actually have the only successor chapter, which happens to survive the most, is the one that actually fell to chaos. Yeah, a whole Imperial Fist chapter fell to chaos, and they seem the one that actually live. And it's kind of weird. Like, they had two fights with the Iron Warriors at Hydra Quadratus, and they both times the Iron Warriors won. Now the second time was pretty much the Iron Warriors just rubbing it in that they could still beat them, and a place they already knew. Now, there are arguments that, they were defending an Iron Warrior fortress. But still, they got absolutely slaughtered the second time on Hydra Quadratus. Completely slaughtered. The Warsmith, the main bad guy, ended up eating Imperial Fist Gene Seed as a sacrifice to the Chaos Gods and ascended to demonhood. That's just weird. Like, they're Imperial Fists. And in the end, the weirdest part of it was, Hawkins, like one of the best characters in Storm of Iron book, ends up saving the day by blowing up a missile silo and almost killing himself. And right at the last minute, when everyone's gone, the Imperial Fist reinforcements arrive. Like, really? Right when everyone's gone. Like, all the Imperial Fists are dead, the Imperial Guard are evacuated, Iron Warriors have gone. Yeah, now the reinforcements come. It's a bit late, don't you think? I mean, it's a good ending because Sergeant Hawkins survives, and I do like the character, but yeah, kind of weird. And like I said, the Crimson Fist blew themselves up, and Black Templars took a lot of losses on Hell's Reach, on Armageddon. And then you have the The Legion of the Damned book by Steve Parker, which is a fantastic read if you ever get a chance. All of them but one die, and that's a successor chapter. I believe it's the Relictors. It's a book I've got to read again. That's a really good book. And this also kind of highlights the other thing. No matter their losses, no matter how severely, unless they are the antagonist of the story, such as in Storm of Iron, if they are the protagonists, if they are the good guys, they still win the day, even though everyone else has died. Like, the entire chapter could be wiped out, but you'll get this one guy that lives, and he saved the day. Like, this one guy has plot armor even the Ultramarines would be jealous of. Like, you will follow him through the book, and he will be the one that lives. Like, he's the final girl of the Imperial Fist storyline. And it's, like I said, it's going away. And, well, that could be better. Like, a lot of things that could be better. Like, actually not have them all die. Have them actually become a feasible threat or a feasible force to be dealt with. Not to be made out of breadsticks and jam. Yeah, would be fantastic to see the Imperial Fist actually suffer. Actually do something far greater than just biff it. And another thing about it is, like, Imperial Fists have a gene flaw, and it's quite an interesting one. I think this one's fantastic. It beats the hell out of the Blood Angels one, and their Black Rage. It beats the hell out of the Space Wolves turning into well. This one has so much it can do and actually add to the Imperial Fist, which it's only in one book, which makes it weird, and it's fantastic. They have this thing called the Black. See, Space Marines aren't emotionless. They tend to be, but they actually aren't, which is why they are so prone to heightened emotions. Like you see the Space Wolves being, when they get drunk, being really, really happy, like they're ecstatic, over the top. And when the Blood Angels fall to the Black Rage, they are absolutely berserk with fury. They're absolutely livid, they're frothing at the mouth, almost to the point of really a berserker level of anger. Like their emotional levels skyrocketing. And the Imperial Fist is, they cry. They will sit in a catonic state and cry. And this comes from when Rogel Dawn saw the Emperor fallen. When he saw him die, that grief psychically manifested in all the Imperial Fists. All of them. Like it makes them catatonic. They literally cannot do anything within this state of grief. And to see that in a book, that a Space Marine can be brought down to this level of grief, but they are catatonic. They cannot move. They cannot do anything. All they can think about is crying, and they are so upset. They are so sad. Like their emotions of, they can't think of anything else but the death of the Emperor. This level of grief is so high. It's such a good thing to see a Space Marine do that. Like, it's not a good thing, but it's an interesting thing. But we see it in one book. It's something that could be well explored within the Imperial Fists and how they get around it, and how the apothecaries like Corbolo in the Blood Angels tries to get around the Black Rage using psychology and psychiatric work to try and get people out of the Black Rage. Seeing an Imperial Fist apothecary try and treat the Black, and help someone through the grief. Help a Space Marine through grief. Now, grief's a nasty thing. I can tell you that for nothing. Grief is vicious and horrible. It's a nasty thing to go through. Everything in your world is just dark. It's just absolutely awful thing. But to see a Space Marine do this, just to give up all hope, just to give up everything, like, he doesn't know what to do with himself. This guy's like mentally brainwashed to be an absolute murderer, and war at the highest of high levels, to be brought down because he doesn't know what to do with himself, because he doesn't feel anything is worth it. He's so stricken. My God, that would have been fantastic to read in a book. That would be absolutely brilliant. I would love to see that explored even more. That would be the best thing for the Imperial Fist. Yeah, okay, they die a lot, but yet to see someone like an Imperial Fist going through the stages of grief because of this gene flaw, a gene flaw that the Imperial Fists have. It is canon in lore. We have seen it. Like I said, the book is this Legion of the Damned by Steve Parker. It's in that book. Okay? But we don't. I mean, I've complained before about the Space Wolves and them. We never really see that side of it. But a Space Marine turns into a werewolf, yeah, they'll probably just off it. They'll go, yeah, he's a werewolf now. But this, you're going to have to see not just the Space Marine going through it. You're going to have to see his unit trying to get him back up, trying to console him at the same time as fighting. That they need to be 100%, and they need the Space Marine to be back up on his feet to fight. They have to console him. They have to have these tactics and methods to try and get him to feel better about himself so he can fight and get back to becoming an Astartes and not just this catatonic mess that he has become. Well, actually this video is going to be actually completely different. I actually was thinking of something else about the Horus Heresy and why, and other things. But honestly, when I was working on it, it's just this gene flaw is so fantastic and bring so much depth to the Imperial Fists. I want to see more of it, and I think it would be great. I mean, Dan Abnett's a big Imperial Fist writer, and he can write this sort of stuff. I would honestly give it to David Annandale because of what he did in Neil Lamarty's book. He did a fantastic job showing the psychological side of the Black Rage. I would have given it to him to do. I think he could do a fantastic job of showing this side of the Imperial Fist and their successes. I mean, it could explain why the Black Templars are so angry. They feel the Black far more frequently, so they actually make themselves physically angry, because a part of grief is anger, and that's the part of the grief they are suffering from, and that would be great to see. Like I said, this is just something I would really like to see, and I think it would make the Imperial Fists so much better than they are now. I would probably read more of them and actually get more engrossed into them to see this side. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video about the Black and what I would love to see more of it. and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. A link to Wayland Games down below if you wish to save 20% on your Warhammer and free delivery after £20. There is also Forbidden Planet if you like comics, DVDs, manga, plushies, toys. I'm still going to promote Spawn. I love Spawn. Spawn's doing so well at the moment. It's such a good comic, especially Scorched and King Spawn. Gunslinger's alright. I only get the graphic novel Gunslinger. My merchandise, cups, t-shirts, all the artwork's done by me. And finally, my own comic. Give out a read. Hope you enjoy the next one. Bye bye.